How y'all doing today? Uh, I saw this game on Steam a while back, whenever it first released, when it was on the new release list, and I wanted to check it out. I don't really know much about it, other than it's called an FMV adventure or whatever. Uh, there's a lot of press on the page for this and how this game is amazing. I don't know if it's amazing. I haven't played it yet. And, I'm so not in a gaming mood right now. I figure this is the best time to judge a video game. So, I'm going to start this. Hopefully I can put on subtitles. Is this... that... just start the game. Alright, so from what I understand, this person is convicted or something of murder. We have to figure out whether they really did it or not. Let's read the README. Computer technology is the backbone of modern police work. Some bullshit about logic or whatever that no one gives a crap about. This database contains footage transferred from the existing homicide. It's stuff I already explained. Each statement made by the interview participants is stored separately. Okay, so there's different clips. Type in a search word, click search, it will show you all the clips. If you're working from a printed transcript, you can narrow a search by looking up stuff, so you can be more precise, blah blah blah, no one cares. To store a clip for later reference, click add to session. Also, if you wish to add additional tags of your own to help future searches, please click in the user tags box and type in the desired tags. That sounds all really monotonous, but okay. Here's the database. I filed a Freedom of Information form to get you guest access. Everything seems to work. Stuff about them being from 1999, then the Y2K thing hit and they got mothballed. Okay. No one has touched them since. I couldn't find the server with the detective's footage on it. Detective's footage. Possibly these tapes got damaged when the old archives were flooded in 97, but figured this would be enough. Take your time. It's in the bin. Gru Hack, Mirror Games, Cyber Ghost, The Legends, You've Never Seen Us, one of the must-hear classics. Okay. Haha. Let's look at the clip.
You think it's murder? I mean, clearly it's murder. What can I do to help?
Okay.
Yeah, that's me. But February, that was months ago. What's that got to do with Simon's murder?
Okay, so, February, some stuff we need to know. We're going to add this to session. I assume this is just so that we can look at them whenever we need to, at which point this had a little bit of information. This is just, you think it's murder. What? What? I don't understand it. This is, yeah, in February, and you think this has to do with Simon's murder, and I've already seen this, so let's do this one.
I didn't murder Simon. You've got it wrong. You've got the wrong person.
Worthless.
I'd like to speak to a lawyer now. Please. You have no murder weapon. You have nothing. And all these stories we've been telling each other, just that. Stories.
Oh, Christ's sakes. I'm not even going to comment. What do we need to look up? Let's look up February. What's this? So this is the one I think we looked at. What's this one?
Well, I don't know. I probably had to pop out and get something, that's why I was speeding. And that wouldn't have been noted on my timesheet. But I really can't remember back to February.
So is that 107 meaning January 7th, or is that 107 meaning July 1st? I guess it doesn't matter. So we look up speeding? Speeding. Oh, we got another one.
You must be desperate for leads if you're getting hung up over 6-month-old speeding tickets.
Oh yeah, so it's July. Okay. No, that'd still be wrong. Whatever. Speeding ticket. Do I have more stuff back here? I have a DB checker. Database checker. Volume missing. Refresh. So something's missing here. Let's look that up. Let's look up DB344A. That didn't pull up anything. That might not be a dash. That might be a squiggle. So let's try doing a squiggle instead. A. Look for that. I didn't pull up anything either. Okay. Let's look at the clock. We're probably gonna have to do something with this. I don't know what. 16:06:15. It's just a clock. It's just a clock. Yeah. Okay. Simon's murder. Let's look up Simon. Oh, a bunch of stuff about Simon.
Simon Smith. He works at Ernst Brothers Glass. They do windows, all kinds of glass. Simon does the more special work. Mirror making, feature windows, artistic things. Really beautiful things.
We're going to add that to session. We need to remember Ernst Brothers Glass, I think that's what it was, so we'll type that into the tags. I assume that's what this stuff is for. I'm going to rewatch that to make sure I got the name right.
Simon Smith. He works at Ernst Brothers Glass. They do windows, all kinds of...
We're good. Okay, so we're also going to add Simon Smith to the tags on this. I don't know if I can just make that easier, but we'll do that. So this was the one where I got his name, right?
Yeah, that's me. But February, that was months ago. What's that got to do with Simon's murder?
Okay, so we can take this out of the session, I assume, right? I don't want this. Really? Alright, so apparently we have to be more specific with this. So we'll type in Simon's murder after we're done looking through these clips.
Simon is 6 foot, darkish blonde hair, average build. He's clean shaven. If his beard grows, it goes ginger, so he shaves it. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with ginger hair. And border photo. They said a spring photo. This was taken last year on holiday in Rome. It's the best one I have.
Okay, we want to write down Rome. I'm going to add that to the session. I wonder how many I can store. I hope I can store a lot. Let's...
It's the Rockington Arms, the Rock. It's run by a nice couple, Peter and Susan. There's some other regulars there that Simon likes to drink with, and the barmaid they're having sometimes, Helen. Peter said Simon had been in and had a few drinks.
So some names we got there. We got Peter. We got Helen. I'm going to put commas. Peter, we got Helen, and then we got the something Arms?
It's the Rockington Arms.
Rockington Arms. And then we also got a nickname, so we're going to write down the nickname too, just in case those are under different entries. The Rock. We're going to add that to the session. We should go through the rest of these before we do anything else.
Yes. There's an Amstrad one. No one uses it for very much. There's a printer so you can write letters on it. Simon sometimes plays games. You know, Climb the Tower, Save the Princess. That kind of thing.
There's no game like that. Amstrad, I know it's just a computer brand. We're going to write it down anyways. We're going to add it to session. Okay, so I can add more than just the 5. That's great.
Simon isn't the type to run off or do anything crazy. Someone must have done something to him, or there must have been some kind of accident. So what do we do next?
I'd say that it looks like she's acting, like she committed the murder and that she's acting like she's concerned. But she's an actress, and you know, she might just be really bad at her job, and I think that we should all recognize that possibility, and not just make assumptions about whether she killed somebody or not. Can I just like delete these from the, please? Like I don't need this anymore. Can I throw this in the, no? What's this do? Oh, that's the history. Anti-glare filter. Oh, whoa. Okay, so you guys, we're gonna go with this. Actually, I might prefer this. I prefer this. Okay, so we don't have anything tagged in here. What was?
I don't know. I probably had to pop out and get something. That's why I was speeding. And that wouldn't have been.
Let's look up timesheet. No, same one. So that's the only time she mentions a timesheet. Let's look up Simon Smith, the full name. Simon Smith. Let's look up Simon Murder. Simon Murder. There's two. We saw this one?
I didn't murder Simon.
Oh, yeah, we saw this one.
You've got it wrong.
Okay. I don't even know this woman's name yet. Let's look up Ernst Brothers Glass. It's the same one. Let's look up Ernst Brothers. Let's try to just... No. Let's look up Ernst. Let's look up Brother. Yep.
She's crying, I guess. She's sad because she thought she saw her husband with another woman. But it's okay, because she finds out it wasn't her husband, it was his brother. And so it's fine.
What? Okay, here's a... Let's look up sister really quick. Yeah, there's probably a few sister ones. We'll look up dad and father and mother and stuff. There's probably a few for that too.
You want me to play something? I'm not the world's greatest guitar player.
What the fuck does this have to do with the murder?
Probably needs tuning.
Did she like know how to play guitar and they were just like, let's make her play guitar on camera right now? Fuck, I hate indie games. Look how long this clip is.
Two sisters came walking by the sea. Oh, the wind and the rain. The eldest one pushed the other one in. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. See, they both had a love for the captain's son. Oh, the wind and the rain. But he only cared for the youngest one. Oh, the dreadful wind. Oh, the eldest envied her sister fair. Oh, the wind and the rain. With a pretty little face and a long blonde hair. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. So she pushed her in and held her down. Oh, the wind and the rain. Watched her as she slowly drowned. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. Oh, she floated up and she floated down. Oh, the wind and the rain. Floated till a ship came by. Oh, the dreadful.
There's no fucking point to this, is there?
Out comes the captain's son. Oh, the wind and the rain. Father dear, here swims and swan. Oh, the
Is this a joke? I don't understand. Is this like a clue? Are they trying to establish that she's soulful and so like she could never have committed the murder, but she sings this creepy ass song to some cops, which like you ever see cops like actually address people? They get freaked out like really easily. You say anything that kind of seems a little off, they jump on it like right away, and you want to sing a song about murdering your sister. I've never heard that song. Maybe it's not an original song. Maybe it's a cover or something. Who gives a shit? Just next video.
When she went home, Simon had a birthday tea waiting. Afterwards, she told Simon about me, told him I was pregnant. She wanted me to move in with them, this sister he didn't know she had. She knew that instant. The look on his face. She knew.
What? We want to write down pregnant. Is there anything else we need to remember? I'm going to type out she knew, and we're going to search that, because that sounds like something... We should listen to the other sister videos first.
She sent him out the house, kicked him out, called me up, crying, and I went round. I guess I had a feeling I could hear something was wrong in her voice, but I wasn't sure what it was. She called me sister on the phone. She never calls me that.
Okay, phone. It's because no one says sister anymore. Everyone says sis. Oh wait, I need to add that. Add a session. It's just so that we can keep track of the tags, because I'm only using the tags to remind me of what I need to type in that search bar.
My sister is gone. And she's never coming back.
Coming. Nope. We don't have anything in this. Rome. Let's try Rome. Only that video. Peter. Let's try Helen. There we go. Another video on Helen.
No. I think he spoke to Helen. She said he was upset about our argument, but I'm not sure what else he said. He likes Helen. He likes blondes.
Wow. Blondes? Argument. What? So, I think the feeling you're supposed to be getting is that he was cheating on her with Helen because she's blonde and he likes blondes. That would be my guess. We'll find out though, because it's a mystery. The Rock. There we go.
So, it was Friday evening. We had an argument. He left. On Saturday, he didn't come back. I waited all day. He was supposed to go help Eric out with something on the Saturday afternoon. They had a job. He didn't show.
We're going to stop that. I need to restart that video. We're going to write down Saturday. We're going to write down Eric. Let's watch more.
So,
Friday evening. Friday evening.
So, it was Friday evening. On Saturday, he didn't come back. I waited all day. He was supposed to go help Eric out with something on the Saturday afternoon. They had a job. He didn't show. So Eric was ringing on the phone. I checked at The Rock, that's our local. They said they'd seen him on the Friday night, but not since. He still wasn't back this morning. It just isn't like him at all. Still not back by dinner time. It's getting dark again. So I decided to come and see you. His parents haven't heard anything either.
That's another one that we need to try. We need to try parents. We're going to try dinner. Because I think just looking up the ones that are at a specific time will probably help us. We'll add that to session. Another thing, I figured out what this is for now. This tells us what we've looked at. So as we fill out these video clips, I'm pretty sure each of these will start to mark green. What does this yellow one mean, though? Maybe it's one we haven't watched yet? I don't know. Let's keep going.
Oh God, I don't know. I mean, I guess The Rock. You've spoken to everyone there. Someone must have seen where he went. I don't know. So many things could have gone wrong. No, no one has been in the last few weeks. We had a plumber come in 3-4 weeks ago. Someone summoned you from The Rock.
It's like a plumber. No, it's just that video. That was that one. Look up Armstrad. No. Let's look up that thing in the rubbish bin. So this is for what? Mirror game. Mirror game. No. This is it right here, right? Oh, whatever. I'm not playing that. I played that game. I'm not playing that. What else do we need to look up? Let's look up pregnant. Wow. Okay, this is a lot. We only got 5 of them. There's 10. Well, let's start.
I got pregnant. Both our parents had a big powwow. We weren't even in the room. And they decided we should get married.
Oh, look, the music got dramatic because that's apparently really dramatic. People still do that, I suppose. That's really dramatic.
Yes, I'm fine. I won't be sick again. This happens some days. I'm pregnant. It's morning sickness.
God damn it, this game. Morning sickness. I kind of feel like I started this game already ready to hate it, but I don't know. It's a bit heavy-handed right now.
No. Well, yes. You found out on my birthday.
Let's write down birthday.
I told him I was pregnant.
Birthday. Add that to session.
It's Rapunzel. The story starts when she's born. Mother Gothel, a witch, takes Rapunzel from her parents and keeps her locked up in this tower. Rapunzel gets pregnant by the prince, and Mother Gothel is furious, so she cuts off her hair and throws it. Actually, her hair's already short here, so that's already happened. But she throws her into the wilderness, and Rapunzel is reunited with the prince, who's blind, but she kills him with her tears, and so it's a happy ending. Is that too much?
There's obviously a theme here about women trapped in towers, in pregnancy, and other really heavy-handed topics. Let's click this one.
When I arrived in Glasgow, I was exhausted.
Glasgow.
The streets were empty. I was driving
Taxi.
badly. And I hit a taxi. Not a big crash, just paintwork.
Glasgow and taxi.
The guy was so pissed off because I didn't have a driving license on me. But when I told him I was pregnant, he made sure I got to the hospital so they could check me out. It was fine.
But I lost the baby.
The hospital must have details when I was looked at. There's a scratch on the car.
Those are both good points. Hospital. Glasgow. Car. Okay, we're gonna look up Rapunzel really quick. Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh my god. We need to write down all of those then. So Rapunzel, Mother something.
It's Rapunzel. The story.
Mother Gothel. We're going to try a few of these. So, Mother Gothel. Blind. Hair. I think we're good with just that. I think we're fine with just that.
Sorry. The picture, the way it's drawn, just reminded me of the books we used to read as children. I read those fairy tales over and over, and they were so real to me. Rapunzel was my favourite. My brain is just full of it. Oh, any of these in colour?
It's like she's not even actually like a suspect in the murder investigation. Like she's not even being interrogated. It's like it's a psychological profile that someone's offered. Where did all this footage come from? What's it for?
Did I pass? Sorry, I messed it up with all that Rapunzel stuff. Do you need me to do that card again?
Scope card.
Could the hairs have come from somewhere else? I mean, could they... We have a lot of dolls in the attic. There's a Rapunzel doll with long blonde hair. Could they have come from there?
Here we have hair again. And we also have dolls. So we know that there's blonde hair. Simon likes blondes. Helen is blonde.
We were obsessed with fairy tales.
No one's obsessed with
Not
fairy
just the
tales.
pretty ones, but the traditional ones. They were dark and real, bizarre and violent. Felt like life. We had this huge old book that I think Mum must have bought from a library sale. The illustrations had thin tracing paper over them to protect them. They were in colour, shiny plates. At the front of the book was an index of illustrations. We read that more than the actual stories. We'd read aloud the captions and flip between the pictures. There was something intimate about peeling back the tracing paper, undressing the pictures. Rapunzel's hair is cut. The eagle plucks out his heart. The princess pricks her finger.
Let's look up prick. Nope, let's look up bastard. Let's look up death.
They said it was food poisoning. There was something in the food they ate. My dad liked to pick mushrooms, grow them too. They said it was the mushrooms. It was hard to believe. Death caps. They have a skirt around the cap. My dad taught me that. But the police had no reason to think it was suspicious. They lived alone. And no one had any reason to hurt them.
The fact that her dad taught her what a death cap is and like, you know, I'm pretty sure she knows what a death cap is. She could use it to kill somebody. I bet you there's something going to be involving poison in about 5 minutes or something. We're going to look up poison and we'll find out.
I was living in the attic. It was a very hard time. I was depressed. Was still pretty sick of the STD.
She's Rapunzel,
And I came down one morning.
but she's not blonde.
They were dead. They were in bed and both had been sick. They'd thrown up a lot. And I'd slept through it. The police said it was the mushrooms they ate. Dad was a mushroom expert. I mean, he used to take us picking with him, and he taught us how to recognise them.
The fuck's a mushroom expert?
There's no way he would have picked death caps. But the police believe that's what happened. They never even looked in the attic.
Okay. So what the fuck is that? Attic. Mushrooms. Add that to session. We're gonna look up attic first. I bet you anything, like 16. Yep. 12. That was close. That was 4 off.
Yes. I inherited it from my parents, so it made sense to move back. Me and Simon. Felt like going back to old ways before the pregnancy. Reminded me of being a girl, a dollhouse in the attic, old things. We didn't sleep in my parents' bedroom for a long time. We decorated it as soon as we moved in, but it was another year before we started sleeping there.
Dollhouse. Oh, I skipped one, did I?
Yes. I read a lot as a child and watched lots of TV.
Of course you
The
did.
doll's house we had, we still have in the attic. It's kind of a fairy castle. We used to play up there and make up our own stories.
What's an MT?
She recognised me from the window.
Window.
She told me to come inside, and she hid me. They had made the attic into a place where Hannah could play. There was a dollhouse.
Hannah.
She hid me up there. No one else ever went into the attic. It was her place.
Hannah and what?
She recognised me from the window.
Window Hannah. Window and Hannah. Add both of those.
I'm not sure where the dollhouse came from. I don't know if it was given to them or they inherited it. I mean, they wouldn't have had the money to buy it. It was so huge. It must have been taken up to the attic in parts and then reassembled up there. It's a beautiful thing. Wallpaper to scale, little furniture, the lights work, mirrors, beds, big duvets and pillows. We spent hours and hours playing in it, invented all these characters and families who lived there.
Oh my god, stop making
We
that
wrote
sound
paperwork
so
on
like...
them, passports,
fucking-
diaries, and gave them all really elaborate stories. Once, a moth got trapped in there. We'd left a light on. It was making the most horrendous noise. We tried to kill it, but it was tough. We ended up crushing it under a copy of the Arabian Nights.
Oh, fuck off. Anybody that mentions the Arabian Nights like that... 1001 Nights isn't a bad book. Don't get me wrong. Just... I don't know. This game is just seeping with pretension. We're going to look up the Arabian Nights. We're going to look up Moth. By the way, she sounds really sadistic. If anything, I think she committed the murder so far. Let's look up Moth. Nope. Let's look up Arabian Nights. Arabian Nights. No, that's the same thing. Armstrad, pregnant, she knew. We looked up pregnant already, right? Yeah, we did. She knew. Oh, it's pulled up a lot.
Florence raised me in her home. I never left it.
Florence.
Florence raised me in her home. I never left it. She kept me out of sight. It wasn't odd for people to see a midwife with a baby, carrying in supplies, washing nappies, that sort of thing.
Midwife.
I never knew any different. I grew up looking out of my window and seeing her across the road. I thought it was like a reflection in the mirror. She was me.
This bitch sounds crazy. Anybody listening to this would think she was crazy. Her dialogue is meant to give the feeling of there being actual emotion and meaning behind her things. I was such a depressed little girl stuck in my home, and I looked across the way, and there was a friend that I could talk to. Oh my god, my friend. And we used to have all these great times back in the day. She's saying this to fucking cops who are asking about her husband's murder. I want to make it clear just how stupid the dialogue in this game is. Because this game is getting press. It's getting good press. And I am trying to understand why. Because this isn't that creative. People have done this before. People have done this before recently. There are at least 4 games on Steam that already do this. But this specific one, why is this a good game? Why do people think this is a good game? Why does this have a good rating on Steam currently? I think these are questions that we need to be able to ask while we continue playing this. Because even though I hate it, I get to bitch about it on camera, and no one gets to stop me. So let's keep going.
When I was 8, Mother died.
Oh.
She slipped down the stairs.
Oh.
It was an accident. I had read a diary at that point, and I knew.
Wait a second. Didn't her parents die
I burned the
from
diary that day, and I left. Walked out.
mushroom
and across the
poisoning?
street.
Ugh.
There were always princes and princesses. They were the special people, more important than the other characters in their stories. We knew we were like that. Twins. Magical. We were the princesses. We had a poster of Princess Diana from the newspaper up in our attic.
Princess Diana.
Pride of place. And underneath we used to put all our special things. When her engagement was announced, we were obsessed with everything she did.
Why don't you just write a shitty novel?
And later, when her life went so bad, we felt for her. Her divorce last year just kind of drew a line under things.
Princess Diana. Just write a crap novel. Don't make a game. Don't make a game that's just you filming a person sitting behind a table.
No. The parents decided there would be a wedding. And after the wedding, Hannah moved in with his parents. There was no way I could follow. So we were separated again. I stayed in the attic. It was hard. It's like I suddenly didn't exist. I would sneak out, but in case anyone recognized me, I started wearing a wig.
What?
Hannah and I would meet up in the park. I was trying to get pregnant. But I couldn't. I mean, I couldn't do it with anyone we knew, so it was
What?
sex with strangers.
What?
Drunk guys I'd met in clubs, parks and alleyways.
What?
I was 17.
What?
It felt like I was being punished.
What?
But it was Hannah who had betrayed us.
What?
I had to stop when one of the guys gave me an STD.
What?
When we met up, it was disturbing. For the first time, my reflection, she didn't look like me. She was fatter, flushed. If anything, I was getting skinnier. I found it hard to look sometimes. We talked about what to do. Was it time to become our own people?
What?
And that seemed like the right thing to do, but
What?
neither of us wanted it.
It doesn't even make sense. It's not a thing.
We agreed that her and Simon would get their own place as soon as possible, and then I could move in. And that was the plan.
What? Okay, let's reassert. Oh, okay, Hannah. This girl lived across the street from Hannah, who's blonde. Simon likes blondes. Simon is supposed to be, I guess, we assumed he was her husband. That's not the case. She lived with Hannah and Simon. Hannah is also a person there, but Hannah gets mentioned all the time at the Rock, so maybe it's like a polygamy thing? She wanted to be like Hannah. She has a thing about Rapunzel. Rapunzel is blonde. There's the thing where she has to live in the attic, so she's hiding from something. Let's look up that. Let's look up hiding. Nothing. Hidden? Secret.
I hoover, I dust every week, maybe less. I once asked Eleanor how often I should dust, and she said, if people ask, tell them you do it once a week, but every few weeks is okay. I think she was just trying to make me feel better. I mean, when I was there, she was hoovering every day, ran an ordered house. You know how that generation is, putting on a brave front. She has secret stashes of cigarettes. Doug doesn't even know she smokes.
Doug.
When I was there, I saw her. She has these sort of porcelain vases, ornamental,
Vases.
next to the Reader's Digest books. Cigarettes inside.
Cigarettes.
And she still has them. I mean, last time I was there, I looked in a vase. There was a fresh pack. I mean, all those years of marriage, and she still has a secret like that.
So cigarettes, vase, and then what was the name of the guy?
Front. Has secret
Hoovering,
stashes of
cigarettes, vase, Doug. Doug, hoovering, cigarettes, vase. Add that to session.
It was supposed to be a secret. Just because Simon is dead doesn't mean I have to give up all his secrets.
Yes, it does.
It doesn't have anything to do with what happened to Simon.
They're still gonna ask you.
No one murdered my husband because he cheated his expenses for a romantic weekend in Oxford.
What? I like the delivery on that. That wasn't badly written. I've been giving this game a lot of shit. That wasn't bad. The whole game. I'm gonna say that no one's gonna understand what I mean by it, so I'm just gonna keep going.
It was supposed to be a secret. Just because Simon is dead doesn't mean I have to give up all his secrets. It doesn't have anything to do with what happened to Simon. No one murdered my husband because he cheated his expenses for a romantic weekend in Oxford.
So Simon is her husband. Romantic weekend in Oxford, so romantic. So was he supposed to marry Hannah and then he didn't? He ended up marrying her?
When we weren't together, we'd send secret messages by tapping out a code that we'd learned from a book. The not code.
Not code.
Something prisoners of war would use.
Yeah,
We'd tap them out on radiator pipes.
that is
or
exactly what
water floor.
POWs do. That's probably where you got the idea and wrote it down. Okay, I'm not gonna bother with this because I'm not gonna translate your code.
Dad thought we had mice, but they couldn't find any. Bought a cat anyway.
Dog, cat, or no, cat, not code.
Use.
Cat and not code. Where did we leave off? Rome, we did these, we did this. Pregnant and she knew. Did that. Phone. Hold on. I did it.
Okay. She's being chased. They're trying to catch her because she did something bad. I guess she broke the rules.
Oh my god, you're not 5.
Or Maybe they think she did something bad. Maybe it wasn't her fault. She looks scared, not guilty. Maybe it was mistaken identity. Did they catch her there? I don't know.
Identity. So, from what I can figure, the what it's picking up is the search terms are just picking up stuff in her from her talking. So, I'm pretty sure we could probably, they either have a video that expressly says she did it, or we're just supposed to be left with the guess. Like, did she do it? I don't know. She sounds like she had such a rough childhood. Maybe she had something really crazy go on. You know, in a disconnected form, it's really hard to connect with each of the pieces. I suppose that we're supposed to move this stuff around, maybe? I don't know. Let's just keep watching.
Yes, this is it. He made it himself. It's a special one-off.
Oh, he's an artist, huh?
He made it. He decorated it. That's his thing.
Oh.
Where did you find it?
Find it. His thing. Penis.
No. I was 15. Carl was older. 7.
I have trouble remembering the names. I'm going to write it down now.
No. I was 15. Carl was older. 17, I think. I was really into him, regardless of how he actually behaved. Lots of drunken teenage sex. We did it in a church once. It's stupid. So he got tired of us and we split up after about 6 months. It was sad, but those early experiences, they help you realise who's really important to you, you know? Family.
What? Because she wants to get pregnant, right? I think the blue shirt pictures are her talking to a therapist and not to the police. To like a police therapist. Why do these not have... Oh, because it's all the way back here. We have all those words to look up. Blondes and arguments. Phone. I looked up I did it and I didn't bother looking up phone, right? I didn't look up phone. Phone. Yeah, we have 9 entries to phone.
Mobile phone? Yeah. Well, they have one for the Glaziers, but it's only for work. I can't remember the number. Oh, it's in the kitchen. I saw it plugged into its charging cradle.
I want to write down number, right? We can look up phone again. Let's look up number. No. Let's go back to phone.
Sure. Yes, of course, if that would help. Will you phone the house to let me know when you want to come round? Then I can make sure that I'm there. It was after dinner. I'd spoken to Simon's parents on the phone. I looked up for an early night and I suddenly had this thought. I think it was something his mum had said. She'd been speaking about old stuff, sad stuff, about when we lived there, about the baby. There's some boxes in the cellar, nursery stuff, stuff we never needed and I never had the heart to throw out. And I suddenly remembered that when I'd looked down there the week before, those boxes, that pile was in the wrong place. I went cold all over. I went down there with a torch and went straight to the back, and
She means flashlight,
that's when I saw the bin bags.
because she's British.
Pulled them open, saw the body. I screamed, and that's when I called the police.
Body. Bags. Cellar. Baby. Baby death. Police.
Yes. I got to Glasgow, I was exhausted, so I pulled over and slept in the car. I woke up because a rubbish truck went past. I got some petrol, bought a coffee and a pastry, tried calling someone from the payphone, and then headed back.
You know, there's an interesting, we're gonna type in payphone. I think, there have been people who have killed others who have found themselves calling their phone afterwards, even though they obviously just murdered them. There's something about killing somebody, I think, that, is a bit hard to understand as, Sorry, I got a funny text. It's hard to understand that someone's actually dead
This
and what
other
that is.
person doesn't exist. I don't know what the blonde wig is, but it could be anything. Have you looked at the cat flap?
Blonde wig. Cat flap. Blonde wig. Argument. Mm-hmm.
Isn't there a couple stuff? A stupid argument, nothing specific. No one knows how to push your buttons better than those you're close to. No.
Pointless clip.
I mean, yes, we have arguments, but he never runs off. He always comes back. We make up. It's always that way.
Boring.
Yes. He left after the argument. It was about
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
8.
No. I lost the baby.
Where'd you lose it?
Miscarriage at 8 months.
Oh.
We carried on living at Simon's
An 8
parents
month
until-
miscarriage, really?
But it was only a few months after. I think when I drove back it was about 8 or something. And I got back to the house about 3.
3.
About 8 years back. It was a present to myself. I shouldn't even be drinking coffee with the baby. It's been hard trying to give it up. I think they say you can have 1 cup.
It's probably a bit overwrought, but not the point. I've been using that word too much. Where, what should we look up? Should we keep going through our list? I think we might have a lot of luck with oh, we need to look up these days. So Saturday.
I left the next day, Saturday. I slept for a few hours in the car. And when I woke up, I came straight back. Simon wasn't returning my calls and I wanted to try and make up.
Calls.
I got back to the house and Simon wasn't there. And I... Is there a bin?
They probably added in the "Is there a bin?" She sounds different. I'd be surprised if she was already vomiting that she could say it that clearly.
It was
That's
late.
a stupid complaint, though.
That is
I shouldn't be
absolutely
complaining about that.
A week or so ago. It would have been the Saturday before my birthday. You know, I get like that on the weekends, have a lie-in, then want to get up and blitz the house.
Eric? Let's look up Eric. Oh, lots of stuff with Eric.
He was wearing a shirt.
No shit.
With a blue turtleneck shirt and jeans. He has a watch. It's a really nice one. That was
It's like a
gift
watch.
from his boss, Eric. He had his coat, a long grey duffel coat, black pants and there. He would have taken that with him. It's not in the house.
Let's go watch. Her dialogue doesn't sound like a normal human. That's what's bothering me. She talks like someone that's a character for something. You know what I mean? Someone who is specifically there to be a character in a fictional story. She sounds like a fictional character. She doesn't sound like a real person.
Yes, there's a car that we share of Cavalier
Let's look up Cavalier
and a van he uses for work.
and
It's
Van.
not Eric, but we look after it. Both of them are there now, parked in the street.
Van Cavalier.
About the keys for the van. I can look for you when I get back.
And Keys. Keys, Van, Cavalier.
Yes, that would be in his wallet.
Wallet.
It's a Visa,
Visa.
a silver one. He doesn't like to spend money he doesn't have, so he usually pays with cash. But Eric convinced him to get one.
Wait, I need to... Visa and wallet? Visa, wallet.
Eric was like an uncle to him. They were pretty close. They spend a lot of time with each other, especially when they have to go to conferences. Have you met his wife, Diane?
Diane. Is she also blonde? Let's look at Friday. Friday evening. Okay, thank God there's nothing for that. So let's look up Friday. Let's look up... Ah, there's only one clip. I'll watch it.
I wasn't in the house all of Friday night. After the argument, after Simon left, I left too. I was upset and I wanted to get away. So I took the car.
I don't think there's anything we need there. Let's look up robbery. No. Let's look up poison. Yeah, we got 3 clips for that. Cause of death. Simon's death. Simon's murder. Has anybody else noticed that we don't know how Simon died yet? Does that not bother anybody else? Parent.
Then my parents died. It was the worst year of my life. A miscarriage and then my parents.
Is this Hannah? Are there really more than one woman in these clips? It's kind of hinted at that there's 2 people. married